Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mike. I'm Senior Advisor at FinCom, and this is Sheila, our VP of Sales and Marketing. What we're doing at FinCom is bringing to market the world's first truly real-time compliance search capability. And at the heart of that is our patented phonetic fingerprinting technology, which makes our platform the most accurate, the fastest, and the cheapest compliance solution on the market. Now, that's quite a set of bold statements, right? But let's look. Thank you. So let's look at the evidence. So despite the plethora of compliance tools we have available to us at the moment, we still only have 1% visibility of financial crime. That means we're missing 99%. And over the last 10 years, the regulators have handed out $300 billion in fines to some very large brands for non-compliance. And what's the problem? What's the real cause of all this? And it comes down to names. Names of individuals, names of businesses. Names are actually very, very complicated. They come in lots of different forms, different spellings, different formats, abbreviations, etc. It's difficult enough when you've got one language. Bring in a plethora of other languages and it goes up an order of magnitude in complexity. Bring in other alphabets and it becomes impossible until now. And over to Sheila for the demo. So if you can now focus on the screen. What we have here, this is a guy that we use for our demos, and the reason we like this guy is well known on lots of lists, and he also has a lovely Wikipedia page with his name on it in English and in Arabic as he spells it. I mean, if this guy doesn't know how to spell his own name, then who does? So if we take his name in English, lift it off the Wikipedia page, and we search on that, look what happens. So we've put it into OFAC, which is a tool that you guys are probably all very, very familiar with, and it doesn't see him. We know he's on the list, but it's missed him. Why is that? So let's open the criteria up a bit, and let's wind down the fuzzy logic to 70%, which is typical of the industry. We search again. You press search, Sheila. Try search again, Sheila. Oh, there we go. It was playing up a little bit backstage. We've now got the opposite problem, hundreds of false positives. And this is a real problem for the industry because to stay compliant, you need to work through these manually and check them all out. It's huge operational cost and it introduces human error, so it's a real problem. So let's make it a bit easier, let's focus down. We know he's Palestinian, so let's put the fact he's Palestinian in the search tool. What comes back? One hit and it's not him. What went wrong there? And it's all to do with names. So if we do the same, with our portal. What's happened there? So if we put Khaled Michelle in there, the couple of things to note here as well is we can also search on initials. This is pretty unique in our capability. We can also search on individuals or businesses, and you can see there. And the other thing to mention before we actually go and do the search is if you look down, you'll see a whole host of lists that we've pulled in. If you're sad enough to count this up, which we did, you've got about 40 billion variants that we're going to search across. So when people ask us about scale, we show them this demo and that question goes away. So Sheila, you hit the submit button. Bang. There we are. 2 hits. And what you'll notice is the spelling is different. There's a difference in formatting there, so the surname comes before the Christian name, so that filled it. So it's found on 2 lists, and the reason that OFAC missed it is because the spelling was different. Obviously, we picked that up. Okay, so and while we're showboating, right, let's do something that is pretty amazing. So let's take his name in Arabic, in a different alphabet, and let's do the same search. And make sure you've got the country Palestine. Any ideas what's going to happen here? Exactly the same result. So that is pretty unique. Okay, so you're probably wondering how our phonetic fingerprinting technology works. Well, it works by taking names and turning them into a mathematical code. And there's 2 characteristics of that mathematical code that make it really interesting for the industry. One is it's unique. So my name could be in 100 databases in different formats, different languages, different alphabets, but it would always find me and turn my name into the same numerical code. And that's what we search on. The other one is that that numerical code cannot be reverse engineered. No one can get hold of that code and reverse engineer it to my name. So what that means for the industry, so the first time the industry can search across business boundaries without breaking data protection and GDPR rules. In fact, when we've been talking to banks, we've been talking to lots of them, we've been talking about AML and GDPR and transaction monitoring. But they've actually said to us, actually, could you fix a more fundamental problem? You know, we've got to get our own data in check. So this is the subject of the next demo. So let's show you this. So what we're doing here, if you just scroll down a little bit, Sheila, there we go. So what we're doing is we're simulating an employer of the RBS group. Let's say I'm a Coots person, and I want to search across all the databases in our group. You know, the overall group, the RBS group. I can't do it at that moment because of GDPR. With FinCom, we can, because we're actually exchanging a code that's got no identifiable information in it. So if we run that query, Sheila, what we have, and you see the numerical code? That's the numerical code that's been generated for that person, Matty Phuket. And you'll see that same code down here. So we've had hits on the RBS and the Ulster databases. So if you click on one of them, you'll see something very interesting. The spelling of Matty Phuket is very different, but we've still found him. Anyway, so in summary, you know, I said earlier that we're the most attractive, we're the most accurate. We've proved that. I've said that we're the fastest. You've seen how quickly we perform at scale. I also said we're the cheapest, but as we're running out of time, we won't talk about that now. You'll just have to come and see us at booth 126 after the break. But all joking aside, there are some of you guys in the room that live this day in, day out. And if you do, you will have realized that what you've seen here is game-changing. So please come and talk to us. We've got the answer to those problems. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention.